Welcome to the Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-the-minute Trump news. Join us today and every day. Here's today's news.
This is TBNN.
MSM caught red-handed sitting on bombshell report to protect Obama, independent media exposes it in them. By Susan DeClose. Two bombshells in one, but only one is receiving attention, and only because of the efforts and publishing of damning information by independent media writer Mike Cernovich, about who in the Obama administration was behind the unmasking of names of American citizens, incidentally collected by intelligence agencies, then disseminating it to the media, which according Representative Trey Gowdy, who sits on the House Intelligence Committee, is a felony offense. Cernovich revealed that the name of the high-level Obama administration official that ordered the unmasking of names of members of the Trump campaign, even before the presidential election, was Obama's national security advisor Susan Rice. That information was then widely disseminated throughout the intelligence community after Obama issued an order making it easier for intelligence agencies to share unfiltered information about innocent people. The House Intelligence Committee has been investigating who unmasked those names, which then was disseminated widely, resulting in a number of illegal leaks to the press, with Rice's name being mentioned as one of those with the ability to request the unmasking, and Gowdy has maintained throughout that there is always a paper trail, therefore the originating source would be revealed during the investigation. Which is exactly what happened. The bigger bombshell, for those of us that have been watching the MSM's attempts to downplay the illegal actions taken on the part of Obama admin officials, is that at least two mainstream media sources were aware of this information, for at least a couple of days, and sat on the information in an attempt to protect the Obama administration. The timing of reports, MSM caught red-handed hiding the truth. Cernovich's exclusive report came out in the evening of April 2, 2017, as well as his issuing a tweet claiming "We know it's you" at Ambassador Rice. Bloomberg and NY Times both sat on the story to protect Obama. Have a nice time before Congress, at 4:40 p.m. PT. It wasn't until April 3, 2017, at 10:13 a.m. ET, that sure enough, Bloomberg, who was founded by Michael Bloomberg, rushed to release their report which confirms Cernovich's information. The news about Rice also sheds light on the strange behavior of Nunes in the last 2 weeks. It emerged last week that he traveled to the White House last month, the night before he made an explosive allegation about Trump transition officials caught up in incidental surveillance. At the time he said he needed to go to the White House because the reports were only on a database for the executive branch. It now appears that he needed to view computer systems within the National Security Council that would include the logs of Rice's requests to unmask U.S. persons. Rice is also quoted from previous reports, once again lying about her part in the unmasking of Trump transition team members, when she was asked directly about reports of Trump team's members being swept up in incidental intelligence collections, stating "I know nothing about this." I was surprised to see reports from Chairman Nunes on that account today. Knowing what we know now, I imagine her surprise was over the fact that the noose was tightening and her name was uncovered as being behind the unmasking. The Bloomberg report, coming directly on the heels of Cernovich's report, bolsters his claim that Bloomberg sat on the story. Cernovich ended his report exposing Rice. With this, reporter has been informed that Maggie Haberman has had this story about Susan Rice for at least 48 hours, and has chosen to sit on it in an effort to protect the reputation of former President Barack Obama. That explains his reference in his tweet of New York Times having sat on the story as well, being that Haberman has worked for the NID since 2015, prior to that she was with Politico. Interestingly enough, Haberman was also exposed by the WikiLeaks Podesta emails as having been one of the long list of so-called journalists that reserved for one of the off-the-record private gatherings at Podesta's home before Clinton launched her campaign. One of the goals of these gatherings, specified in the leaked emails, was framing the HRC message and framing the race. Even more damning, from an earlier Clinton campaign email, exposed by WikiLeaks as part of their Podesta emails, was the following statement about Haberman. We have had a very good relationship with Maggie Haberman of Politico over the last year. We have had her tee up stories for us before and have never been disappointed. While we should have a larger conversation in the near future about a broader strategy for re-engaging the beat press that covers HRC, for this we think we can achieve our objective and do the most shaping by going to Maggie. Haberman's name was mentioned all throughout the Podesta emails, found at WikiLeaks. Here is any more proof needed as to the New York Times' abject bias than the fact that they have kept Haberman on, knowing she willingly allowed herself to be used as a lackey by Democrats, to shape narratives in favor of Hillary Clinton and Democrats throughout her career? Knowing Haberman was sitting on a bombshell report about who was behind the unmasking of American names, she joined the panel at CNN on April 2, 2017, right before Cernovich dropped his bombshell report, to discuss the Russia-Trump collusion story, accusing Trump of using distraction techniques and saying Trump is punching at ghosts and hitting himself in the face, when he highlights that his team was not only surveilled, but that their names were unmasked and illegally disseminated, for political purposes. She also had the audacity to claim that the only thing we do know is that there was a hacking and that 17 different divisions of the intelligence community say that this was done by Russia and that this was done to help elevate his campaign. It seems Ms. Haberman knew something else, something that could be proven about an actual crime committed on the part of the Obama administration, but refused to report on it, was scooped by an independent media writer, the very same night she was projecting her own distraction techniques onto President Trump. Bottom line. Once again it was the independent media that forced the establishment media to report the truth on an issue that many have been waiting for the answer to. Who in the Obama admin order the unmasking of American citizens' names. Just as important, to those of us that believe we have to relentlessly show Americans that still trust the MSM, exactly how corrupt they have become, is the fact that Cernovich also exposed multiple media outlets as having deliberately lied by omission to their readers in order to protect the former Obama administration. Their audience should be all over them asking why they continue to report on Russian collusion when former Obama officials have already admitted there was no evidence whatsoever of any type of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, yet they ignore, bury, and sit on actual evidence of a crime, which is the unmasking of Americans' names with no national security purpose, but just as a political maneuver. At the 3:21-minute mark in the clip below, we hear Trey Gowdy questioning FBI Director James Comey, saying outright that the illegal dissemination of those unmasked names is a felony punishable by up to 10 years. For those that don't like clicking all the links provided to Wiki, Cernovich, his tweets, etc., I show them all in the video I made about this.
That's the news. Join us here every day. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell. See you next time.
This is TBNN.